I'm filming.
So we did this for the Power Strike. It's pretty dang mint.
It's coming from you.
Yeah, this is all mine. Basically, since it's multiples for a single, lower them a little bit. Like 100, so 200, 300, and then that's the remainder. So.
Go on, this one almost 100?
Oh no, these two 100, so
Got
50
you.
apiece.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah.
Yep. So you traded that for...
For a mint Power Strike, I already listed
Wow.
it. I sold 2 already.
That is a good trade. Yep.
Yeah, super soft.
I like this. I'll probably trade that. I'll share this to Tampa Bay Trade Day, the group, because this is the kind of stuff we're talking about.
I like that chubby cherub too.
Where I could see people. I would hope that there'd be. I would expect local area Tampa Bay Trade Day. Probably more than half people to be completely disinterested. Where they're just like, nope, I don't care about anything going on in this. But the other half, I think it'd be split fairly in the middle.
Yeah.
With people that would be like,
wow,
I prefer the single. Yeah, I'd rather be the guy that got a single real special Master System edition of my collection. Can you open it for me too?
Oh yeah. And then we called it Fire Red 100. I mean, that's what I'm getting on eBay. I know it's gross, but that's what.
Wait, going back to what you just said, I think you're right about that. As far as like, what is your most collectible United States Master System?
Aside from the UCC stickers, aside from those.
Yeah, where certain games were European, but they just had a sticker on the back that annotates American.
Perfect cart.
Yeah, this is a
Perfect
really
manual. There is actually a variant to this game that has a Sega for the 90s red sticker over top after Tonka sold the rights back to
man,
Sega.
you're going too deep.
But
that's interesting.
It's still the number one.
That's really cool.
Great game.
Yep, good shooter. I think you traded away stuff that a lot of your full set NES guys. You start getting really thirsty for titles like that, or nice label. I need a label upgrade on Chubby Cherub.
Chubby Cherub is my favorite by far. I didn't really want to trade that, but
like anybody that's a reseller might be more into NES carts of high value. Naturally, a lot of us video game resellers find a lot of guys that have NES lists. So you love having the harder to find stuff to complete those lists, and of course you love having Fire Red.
Well, he actually has a missing cart CIB.
Oh, so he actually needed that one.
Perfect. And then that was a little fluff piece.
Solid title there.
Probably a 20er.
And yeah, that was a great.
Yeah.
That's
how I like to trade.
Prototypical kind of trade that I want to capture.
Quantity for a single, especially when it's a piece I can just relist that I've sold before.
Yeah, that's a title that you've had experience with. So very niche title for sure. Kind of buyer that's into that.
I just threw one up for 500.
Yep, very expensive, very rare, and high quality. Niche title.
3 years ago was 400 too. 3 years ago.
Yep, times have changed. Yep. I like that kind of a deal. It's the kind of stuff that can happen, where you can be a guy that just came across, I don't know, an oddball title like Power Strike, and just from my experience, it seems like 10 years ago it'd be difficult to make that kind of a move where if you scored yourself, had yourself this kind of a piece, and you just want to trade for some heavy NES solo cart only. I don't know, you find yourself not easily finding a mate for that kind of a deal to go down, but starting to find a nice diversity of interest here in Tampa Bay.
You get our trade? Oh, you got our trade already?
Yeah, I like that trade a lot. That's a good trade to capture.